As work was started on the land pavilion, there was a lot of discussion about what the exterior would look like. Originally, there was going to be like an arboretum inside, and they wanted to kind of draw together the idea of what the land would be and how we would interact with the land. So they decided on, ultimately, a mural on the outside of the building. And the mural is on both sides of the entrance and slopes up toward the entrance, and I'll show it to you in just a moment. But it actually is more interesting than that, and it's more intricate than that. And there's a deeper story to how that mural came together. And actually, the person who actually designed the mural was a Disney Imagineer. And the person who actually put the mural in was actually Hans Scharff. Now, we talked about Hans when we talked about the Cinderella mosaic that's underneath the castle in the Magic Kingdom. He and his daughter came back and put this mosaic in. It said that he did one side, she did the other. And the two are identical on either side, down to the last detail, except for one that I'll point out to you. Disney artist Walter Paragoy was responsible for the design of the original mural. Walter's work was somewhat abstract, very colorful, and very elaborate. You can see how it all came together and what he had in mind as far as this dynamic design expressing what the land is all about. And as I mentioned in the Cinderella mosaic video, Hans Scharff was responsible for assembling the mosaic. And one quick note of clarification, Monica is actually Hans's daughter-in-law, not his daughter. She was an artist and an art teacher and had an interest in joining some of the work he was doing, and they created the Scharff and Scharff Studios. So as we walk up to the building, as I said, it's on both sides. We'll start on the left and then we'll come around to the right and show you the right as well. But we'll start on the left just because that happens to be the way I'm walking. So we're going to go up this side and we're going to take a look at the mural. Now, if you look at the way the mural comes together, it actually kind of cascades into the floor in a very subtle way. It's bigger than the floor is. It's taller. And so it actually it has an interesting backstory that goes along with it. But let's take a look at it as we're walking up here. So you can see the intricate work and the different types of tiles and mosaics that were used to create this particular mural. And it's supposed to represent the earth and fire and water and air and the earth and kind of express how the earth comes together and its violent rage and brings things together. So there's a really interesting kind of perspective on the world when you look at it. It really is fascinating. I mean, it's a very abstract sort of piece of art that comes together to show the earth that way. So as we come up toward the top here, you'll notice that it actually curves into the floor. Now, some people will say it's because they made a mistake and they made it too big and the walls weren't tall enough. And that's actually partially true. But the reality of it is that they decided that the earth needs to merge in with where we're walking. And it needs to be a part of what we are. So by curving it downward and into the ground, you actually make it part of what we are. So it actually becomes part of the earth. And again, you can see the tile work and the detail that he put in here, and it's really fascinating. He did an amazing job of putting it together, he and his daughter. And both sides are exactly the same, except for one item. And now let's take a look at the other side as we go back down. So on this side, you can see the way it slopes into the earth as well. And again, it's supposed to represent sort of the earth and the layers of earth and Earth's violent past and so forth. And where is that hidden tile, the one that's different? Why, it's this one right here. You can see it's actually green and not red and not gold like the rest of them. Now, why it's green, there's a lot of debate about that. A lot of people have had thoughts about why it might be green, what it might have to do with. I have my own theory, and it has to do with Hans's days in the Luftwaffe, and that he may have been actually referencing an airplane and been thinking about green on one side, red on the other side to kind of represent that. It's also possible that he was thinking about the green earth and how the earth changes over time and nothing's perfect. It could be a lot of different things that cause that to be that way. But anyway, we can walk back down and see the rest of it. The whole mural is about 120 feet long, so you get a sense of just how big it is. It is amazing. I mean, it's very textured. You can see that it actually hangs out here. It's actually sticks out a little bit there. It's got a lot of texture to it. Some of these stones are very textured. As you look at them, there's more texture on some of these than others. It's a remarkable thing. It's a really amazing thing. He was a true artist in the sense of working with different materials and coming up with something that really was unique and interesting. So we can finish up walking down and looking at the rest of the mural. It does go down the rest of the way, same as on the other side. And both sides are identical other than that one stone. It's kind of remarkable that he built that in there like that, to be one stone different. So here we have the Earth represented, and it's a really amazing thing that went into this. A lot of thought went into it, a lot of planning, and they created something that was really pretty unique, that really does stand out as being something special. And if you think about the Land Pavilion in 1982, you kind of get the sense of it. And as you look at the tree growing up through the middle of it, you know, it's all about the Earth. It's all about the land and how we interact with the land and how we use it. And even the design of the main section is supposed to be evocative of a volcano. And so this all fits in. It all fits with the general theme of it being the Earth.